They said it down. Puts pounds on you, too. Okay, we ready? Well, y'all, thank you for coming to your beautiful state house, the most beautiful state house in the country and the most beautiful state in the country. I've just come from a meeting of business leaders and government officials from all over the Southeast, along with representatives of a variety of businesses from Japan, and everybody agrees that it is the Southeast where the real economic growth and prosperity and happiness is going to be more than any other place. So we're in a great place. We're living in paradise. Often we don't realize it, but this is a call to action. This SCServe is not an old idea. It is an old idea. It's an old tradition in South Carolina, and we need more of it. We know, those of us who have worked in this, labored in this vineyard for years, and many of these ladies and gentlemen here have done precisely that government cannot do it all. And our system of government is set up to provide for volunteers, official and unofficial. And this today is a call to action by a variety of people and interests, and established and new groups, to encourage the people of South Carolina to, as they say in the athletics, to get out of the stands and get down on the field. And let's go to work. There will never be enough money, enough time in government offices to do all the things that need to be done. It never will be. And that's been proven all over the country. But in South Carolina, we have a great spirit. Volunteerism is in our DNA. The great General Mark Clark, the youngest four-star general in the history of this country, Army General, later was president of the Citadel, said there's more patriotism per square inch in South Carolina than any other place in the world. And that is what is reflected by the people in the spirit you see here. So we want people to volunteer. Don't wait to be asked. Find a way. There are local organizations, there are charities, there are churches, there are all sorts of organizations, as well as state and local boards and commissions that are available. Seek them out, ask questions, and get involved. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what you do or don't do. There's work for you to be done to make South Carolina even a better place to live, work, and raise our families. And now, Lieutenant Governor Evans.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you guys all for coming. I think I'm kind of qualified to give a few remarks this morning. My call to serve was answered when the governor asked me to be his second. And that was a great day for me. Before that, I had a call to serve. I ran a company. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, and it takes time. But when that call to serve is in you, you have to reach out and do it. And it's important because we are all citizens of this great state. And when you're a citizen of a state and not the customer of a state, you want to do good things for your state. And so by me being up here, I just want to say it's possible. As president of the company that I founded, I found time, and it was very rewarding to give back. I was on the Small Business Regulatory Commission. There's so many things, as the governor said, state, local, that fit in your wheelhouse, that make such a great impact to everyone in the state, that I just want to encourage everyone to get out and do it. We see the benefits of volunteering at our schools, in our churches, and that big benefit can come in to your government agencies, to local agencies. It makes a huge impact. We have a lot to offer. There's lots of talent sitting here in South Carolina. As the governor likes to say, it's the place everybody wants to call home. So we are rich in talent. So I just want to say it is something I did. I found it very rewarding. And I believe anybody who gets involved will find that just as rewarding. So everybody get up, figure out what you love to do. There's Serve SC. Go online, talk to your local representatives, and figure out what best suits the needs and where your passions lie, because then it becomes a labor of love. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lou Kennedy.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here and to gather to discuss this possibility for all of us. I'm here representing both our company, Nephron Pharmaceuticals, and AFLAC, in the fact that we were asked to be businesses that would sponsor this initiative. As a person who's often been nicknamed Vicky Volunteer, and loves doing a lot of things around this state and this city, I would encourage you to get involved. I would encourage you to do what your heart tells you to do. My parents raised me and said that it must be your call to be a servant leader wherever you can be. And I ask that all of us pitch in, because the state is great, as the governor said, and we can make it greater with all of our participation, with all of us working together. And particularly important to me is to see just what you see surrounding me, that absolute diversity picture. The diversity that we have, that's the fabric of this state, and we need to represent all these organizations and committees and our churches to reflect just what we see around us today. Thank you so much. Now I'll ask my friend Barbara to come on up and tell us about her role.
I'm going to get really specific. In June, we approached the governor's office about a project we wanted to do called South Carolina Gubernatorial Appointment Project, or SCGAP, filling the gap that we have in diversity on our state boards and commissions. The governor's office was enthusiastic. They were looking for qualified women who would be able to serve on many of the, depending on whose numbers you talk about, somewhere between 800 and 1,100 open or carry forward seats that are available on state boards and commissions. So over the course of the last 6 months, we've put together a process. You can go to our website, scwomenlead.net. I think everybody from the press also has the links that we've got to it. We have a large database of all of the positions that are open. It links to all of the qualified, or all of the legislative authority for each one of those boards and commissions and how they are appointed. And we have an application that allows you to express your interest in serving on one or several of those boards, as well as giving us your experience, your background, your interest, your degrees. And so we were thrilled when the governor's office and the lieutenant governor invited us to help them recruit women to serve on state boards and commissions. Now, the governor's made it very clear that he's not going to appoint every woman that comes through our project. I probably wouldn't either, but at the same time, there will never be, as long as we're working on this, a reason to say, I did not have access to a qualified candidate for one of these boards. And it's remarkable how many aerospace engineers and scientists and
Around town.
how many different kinds of skills. So as I've traveled this state, and we have been in 6 different regions talking about this: Greenville, Greenwood, Aiken, Beaufort, Midlands, I'm missing something, and we'll be in Florence soon. The people who we have shared this information with are enthusiastic. There was a 62-year-old woman who came up to me in Greenwood, and she said, I'm an engineer. I've always wanted to serve, but I've been afraid, and I had no idea how to express my interest in service. So she is an example of one of the people that is untapped right now, but that we will tap. I want to express my gratitude to both the governor's office, to Lou, Ms. Wood Kennedy, our board of directors, many of whom are floating around here in the back. I'll duck so you can see some of them. Our 2 co-chairs, Candace Shiver and Melinda Davis-Lux. Excuse me. We were trying to get our brand colors right together here today. Our founders, Will is run because of 100 founders, each of whom contribute $1,000 a year. It is, I had a guy who emailed me the other day and he said, who's paying for all this stuff? And I said, we are, one at a time, with our 100 founders. So we have many volunteers. I would like to invite, when we're all done, anybody who wants to talk with our co-chairs of the Gubernatorial Appointments Project, any of our board members who are very familiar, Lou, who is one of our founders and one of the two sponsors of the Gubernatorial Appointments Project, to come and speak with us after. Have I missed anything?
No, ma'am.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Good. Record that, please. Dr. Acosta. Oh, speaking of people who are not as tall as I am. Dr. Dolores Acosta.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Dr. Dolores Acosta. I'm the Executive Director at the Commission for Minority Affairs. I have more than 30 years in public service. I started as a Charleston City police officer. I was a county magistrate and spent 20 years working for members of Congress in Washington, D.C., serving the people of South Carolina. I moved back home, and now I'm continuing that call to serve by leading the Commission for Minority Affairs. Condoleezza Rice once said, "There's no greater challenge and there's no greater honor than to be in public service." And I agree with her. There's no better place to serve than in my state of South Carolina. Whether you were born here or you relocated here, know that living in this great state is both a privilege and an honor. I want to encourage all South Carolinians to get involved in public service, serve on a board, on a commission, run for public office. I did. I ran for Congress in 1991. I lost, but I ran. Or work in state government. Whatever you choose to do, know that public service transforms the lives of people. Serve with a purpose, and know that it matters. Serve South Carolina.
So at this time, I'd love to open it up for questions on this topic.
Barbara and I have talked about this many times, sort of nonpartisan efforts, if you will. And I look up here, I see Republicans and Democrats. Is it important to you guys that this is a nonpartisan effort, that we have women with these boards, commissions, volunteer efforts?
What's the question?
How important is it to you that we have a nonpartisan effort to fill these positions?
Well, there's no place on any of these applications or forms to put your political party or persuasion. We're looking for people, men, women, from anywhere of any walk of life. There's plenty to do in South Carolina, and as has been said, it's very rewarding and very much needed. If we're going to keep building the prosperity that we are building now for all of our people, then all of our people need to be involved.
You know, and the governor says it time and time again, it's cooperation and collaboration that make things really happen in our state. And it's what sets South Carolina apart. It makes us the gold standard for how everything should be here in the U.S.
Yeah, that's right.
I would like to add, I know we have a lot of females in our company, and it really isn't about their background so much as can you get things done. And so the call here is just asking folks to help us accomplish things and get things done. And I don't think it matters which side of the aisle you are on, frankly, it's just get it done.
I do encourage people, we're all so busy now, especially women have families and jobs and everything else going on. I do encourage them to say, I want to join my local group of, whatever commission it is, locally or statewide. I don't really have time to go to a board meeting or whatever. How's it paid on that? What do they get out of it?
So, that's why I always say you have to pick something that you're passionate about. Because when you're passionate about something, you kind of find time for it. You kind of weave it into the fiber of your day. And so I think that's what you have to take the lead with. When you find something that you feel passionate about, you'll figure out how to put it in your day. Like I know I was the president of a large company. I was room mom. My mother lives with me. I'm a wife. And I still found time to serve on a board. A lot of times, the commitment is once a month. It's once a quarter. And you can kind of work independently reading documents on those off times, but you don't have to really take away from your day to serve. But I think it's really important, you know, as I hear people talk, there is a huge want to serve around the state. And this is a great way to do that. And I think it just comes with the mindset of becoming a citizen and embracing being a citizen. When you're a citizen, you want to take part. You want to make where you live better, and you want to help your neighbors. And I think if we all get back to that mindset of being a citizen of our state instead of a customer of our state, I think then you'll find time. And it really is rewarding, because if you are a mom like I was, you want to make sure that you're creating some place that is wonderful for your children and your grandchildren. And this is how you start doing it, small steps.
And one more thing, you don't need to necessarily join an organization or a group. I mean, this can be a strictly individual effort. For example, Lou, there still is a company, Gregory Electric. The president of that was Tommy Gregory. And he and his wife lived over by the university. And about once a week, you'd see Mr. Gregory, the president of the company, out walking around the neighborhood with a bag and an orange reflective vest on, picking up trash. I mean, there are 1,000 different ways that you can serve.
Yes.
Find one and do it. That's what we're encouraging. Yes, ma'am.
So I've had lots of discussions, as I noted, with women, with people, but particularly women all across the state. And one of the things they've told me is that 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been ready to do this. I had to build my career. I had to raise my children to a point where there could be some independence, because I did not have much logistical support at home. And I think over the last 20 years, women have come a long way in terms of being prepared to step forward and serve. The problem is that they have not been asked in a way that is perhaps effective for their lives. So we have 80,000 people on our email list. We have been spreading word about this, saying it's coming Wednesday. We've been spreading word about this all across the state, and when we leave here, we will share this with our list of 80,000 and encourage them to all go research first and then hopefully fill these out. So I think one of the problems is that women perhaps were not quite ready, but we are now. We've come of age, and we're ready to serve.
Any more? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good looking.